Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be making my own budget planner. I am on a no spend year, so I'm trying not to just go out and buy a budget planner. I figured that I would take a random notebook that I found in my house, and I'm going to be completely DIYing a budget planner from scratch and with things that I have around my house. Okay, so I already planned out what exactly we're going to put in this book, so I'm going to go through that with you guys and then we can start putting it all together. So opening it up, it's just going to be my motivation page. So I have this that I printed out, and I actually made this on Canva that I will paste in here. So it just has a couple quotes on here that I love. And then turning the page here, the next one, I'm going to use this whole page to write out my whys for budgeting this year. This is going to be my money breakdown, income per month, and my fixed expenses. And then this page is going to be the amount that I am going to be budgeting each paycheck I get. Here I'm going to write out my goals for the new year. Here I'm going to be putting in my $10,000 savings tracker. I'm going to actually be putting in something else that I printed out, this cute little, another savings tracker, but a more fun one where you can color in each jar. So then here I'm going to take 2 pages for the monthly calendar. And then turning the page, I'm going to do the month debt overviews. So I'm going to be writing out the debt overview at the beginning of each month. And I thought about putting it in the beginning, but since debt will be changing monthly because I will be paying it off, I decided I'm going to be putting it at the beginning of each month. And then next we have our expense and purchase tracker, and I'm going to do that weekly. So I have a couple pages in here for that, and then just notes here. I'm not going to start February until the end of January, so I can keep creating videos month to month about how I'm doing each month with my budget planner and how it's working for me and changes that I make. First thing we're going to do, let's start with the cover. So I printed all these things out on Canva. Some of them I found these designs and I just printed them out. And then some of them I edited a little bit to what I like. It's good. Okay, perfect. So here's our cover. It's so cute, and I just printed this out. Okay, so opening up that cover, and now we're gonna put in our inspiration page. We can also just write out things yourself. I just like to print it out because I don't have the best handwriting out there. Okay, so now we're gonna get into writing everything out. So here's the first page. Then we're gonna start out with my why. Let's write it out in pink. And you can really format this however you want. So I'm gonna add on to this page off camera, but really it's just writing out your why because it can get difficult in this budgeting saving journey. So this next page, we're doing the money breakdown. I did this in my last video on how I'm saving $10,000 for this year, but I'm gonna put it in my budget planner. And the thing with DIYing your planner is it's not gonna be perfect, but it is going to be cheap. You can put whatever you need in your planner, so it's specific for you, which I think is pretty awesome. So that's why I chose to do my own.
I also just wanted to say a lot of you are wondering why I didn't set aside a budget for items like personal care products, toiletries, and things like that. My goal is to use my grocery budget for those items, and I definitely won't have to buy these things every single week. So I believe that this is totally doable. And if I find that I won't have enough money to cover something for a certain week, then I will definitely use the buffer that I have left in my checking account. And then I will just go ahead and adjust my budget as the year goes on. So just remember that everyone is different and your budget can look completely different from everyone else. But as long as it works for you, it's perfect. And don't be afraid throughout the year to make changes if you need to keep everything working for you and for your lifestyle. So if I find that something isn't working for me, I'll definitely go ahead and adjust that budget as the year goes on.
All right, so here are my first 2 pages of my planner. I'm gonna add on to this one, and this one is good, easy to look out, money breakdown, how much money I make per month, and where my money is immediately going, getting rid of those bills. Okay, so next page is the amount to budget per paycheck. Okay, so I wrote out everything on here so you wouldn't have to hear me list it all out again, but I halved all of my non-negotiables over here, and I added in the subscriptions to the non-negotiables, but I put all of those in half because I want to budget it per paycheck. So instead of paying everything from one paycheck, I'm going to split it in between 2 different paychecks. So all of my non-negotiables are halved, and then I also added in the fun category, restaurants and eating out. I'm going to allocate $50 per paycheck, and then another category that I have is fudge savings. So that's if I forget to budget in a category or anything like that happens, I have $50 per paycheck for that. So straight out of my paycheck for budgeting comes $698.70. So now that I have this down, I know the exact amount that's going to come out of each paycheck for these categories. So the next page we have here is goals for 2023. I'm not going to write out all my goals here on camera, but I did want to put a page in for goals. So now we get to the fun part. We're going to go to our $10,000 savings tracker page. On this side, I'm going to actually put in the diagram that I did print out here. And I like how I made this. It's each jar means I put $417 into savings. So each time I put $417 into savings, I'm going to color in a jar, and that is just a fun way to really keep track of how much money I have saved. Then on this side, I'm just going to write in savings tracker and just write in every time I save the date, the exact amount in case I put a little bit more, a little bit less, or save at a different time than these 417. So I'm just going to put a savings tracker here. Okay, so here's the savings tracker. These are the just only two categories I'm putting in this savings tracker. So then as I save, I'll keep track of it on this side, and then every $417 I'll color it in. And now let's put in the calendars. I actually printed out the calendars here. Here we go. Hello January 2023. And now we're gonna add monthly calendars. So I printed out two. Since these are pretty small, I have a smaller notebook. I printed out two, and I'm gonna be adding in the due dates of my payments. So this isn't really for like events or doctor's appointments that I have, but it is more for keeping track of expenses. So I printed out two in case I wanted more space. So next we're gonna do the month debt overview, and I wanna do this monthly because debt will be going down as the year goes on. So the Capital One I owe as of January $525, and that one is due on the 18th. Next we have the Southwest card. That one I owe $1,966, and that payment is due on the 21st. And the last one we have is the Apple card. That one is, I have $1,990 to pay, and that one is due on the 31st. So for Capital One, that one is the lowest of $25 per month. Then Southwest, this one changes every once in a while, but it's usually around $50 or $60. I'm sorry, I messed that one up. And then the last one is Apple, is $65 per month. Next we have our expense and purchase tracker. Here for the purchase tracker, I wanted to create kind of a key that I can go off. So any personal care items will be in pink, food, green, cats, lighter pink, and so on. So I wanted to create a key for each of the categories. And as we go, it'll kind of be organized that way. And then I will set this up as just date, amount, and highlight it in what category that is. So again, this is not pretty, not perfect, but it is perfect for me and it will work for me. This next page we have notes for the month, and I'm just leaving a couple pages in there and just leaving the sticky note in for when we come back and start the February book setup. So let's just go ahead back through what we created today. It's not the prettiest planner in the world, but it is free and it will work for what I need it to work for. Absolutely love this cover, super cute. Then we have our quotes page. I do want to add some pictures maybe on this side, but I do like that page a lot. Next we have my why, and then my money and income breakdown. Next we have the paycheck breakdown. And next we have our goals page, which I will write out. Next we have the savings trackers. We have where I'm going to write it out and where I'm going to color it in, which I'm super excited for. And then we have January. And then we have the January debt overview with the amount of debt we have as of the beginning of January. And then we have our purchase tracker and our little key there. And then just the notes page and a bunch of blank pages until February. So that is how I set up my 2023 budget planner, just with notebook that I found around my house, and then with these printouts that I made. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know if you also did your own budget planner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!